Today I'll be giving a quick presentation over the home insurance building. This building is the first skyscraper that was constructed in Chicago and debatably first in the world. Going into some detail, I will talk about the architect of the building, the structure of the building, and how the construction of the building changed the way architects design structures. The architect for the home insurance building was William LeBaron Jenney. Jenney was known as the father of the skyscraper. He was also known as the father of the Chicago School. And even if Jenney was not the first to build a skyscraper, he was still a heavy influence on how architects design other tall buildings. William Jenney was born in Fairhaven, Massachusetts on the date September 25, 1832. Jenney had started his education as an engineering student at Phillips Academy in Dover in Massachusetts in 1846, then transferred to Harvard in 1853. Jenney finally finished his education as an architect at the École Centrale Paris in France, graduating in 1856. After coming back to the United States, he served in the Civil War on the side of the Union Army as an engineering officer for Generals Grant and Sherman, designing fortifications. When the war was over, he had made it to the rank of major. He then moved to Chicago, Illinois, and opened his own architectural office. This office specialized in urban planning and commercial projects. He also taught at University of Michigan, mentoring future leaders of the Chicago School. In 1871, a fire ravaged throughout Chicago, destroying about 3.3 square miles of the city. This left thousands of residents without homes and workplaces, forcing architects and engineers to hurry and get the city back up and running. When it was rebuilt, the city was growing and the available land was decreasing, causing the price of the land that was available to increase exponentially. This created a problem how to make space for the increased number of people, and the only way to do so was to go up, thus the use of the skyscraper. The skyscraper also allowed companies to keep their offices close to the factory so they could have better communication between the two. Jenney had a great idea how to solve this problem. His first successful solution to the problem was in the form of the home insurance building. Even though it can be debated that it was the first in the world, the home insurance building is definitely the first skyscraper. William Jenney started designing this building in the early 1880s. The home insurance building was officially opened in 1885 to the public. As it stood when it first opened, it had 10 stories and was about 138 feet tall. The first part of the facade up from the bottom of the structure was an iron skeleton with masonry cladding, and up from that it was all iron and steel. The iron and steel were used to create an iron skeleton for the building, which allowed the outer walls to be curtain walls instead of load-bearing walls. This allowed for the windows to be larger and orientated more horizontally. In 1891, the building was renovated and 2 more stories were added on top of the structure. So the total height of the home insurance building now, which had 12 stories, was 180 feet. After the home insurance building, William Jenney had other successful buildings that even further stepped into an innovative direction and used curtain walls for the entire facade and started to play with the orientation of windows in the exterior. The Manhattan building is similar to the home insurance building and uses masonry for the lower levels facade. The Ludington building uses curtain walls all around the building. And last, the second lighter building also fully uses a full curtain wall facade, allowing for play with ornamentations. All 4 of these buildings designed by Jenney are great showcases of how he changed the architecture of Chicago and other high-rise cities. The home insurance building, like I had stated, was innovative in its design and structure. To create a building of this height and number of floors, there were problems that had to be solved. A big issue was the weight of such a large structure. If it was made out of masonry, the soil of Chicago would not have been able to hold up the building. So curtain walls and steel skeletons were used to reduce the weight of the structure. And because the facade was not load-bearing, the windows and other ornaments could be arranged in many new ways, creating the ribbon window. Another concern was what would happen if there was a fire in the building. Jenney used steel and masonry cladding, which made the structure fireproof, giving time for people to evacuate. Other innovations used in these buildings were the service elevator, allowing for the movement of larger objects through the entire structure and between floors. These innovations went on to help develop other innovations, allowing for cities to continue to grow upwards. Looking over the home insurance building, there is a sense that it is a solution to a problem. But upon closer examination, it appears as a stepping stone for future high-rise cities and the first of many ideas of innovation.